Changing the clocks jumped it pretty quick. Sorry, I was laid there a little bit. Ready to fly.
Okay, let's get started, shall we? Are we good to go, Madam Clerk?
We are indeed, Madam Mayor. Everyone is here. We are recording and live on YouTube.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Welcome everyone to our regular council meeting. Before we begin, just to remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the Township's YouTube channel. And of course, we do have participants joining us via Zoom as well as from the council chambers. So please raise your hand if you do want to speak on a matter, and I will call on you. So moving forward with calling the roll, Deputy Mayor Nelson.
Present.
Councillor Watt.
Present.
Councillor Revort. Present, and you're muted. Councillor Johnston.
Present.
Present, awesome. Moving down on the staff side of the table, we have our clerk, Martina Chait-Hartwig.
Good evening.
Hello, CAO, Alana Arthurs.
Hello.
Intern Treasurer, Paul Creamer. And Manager of Recreation Facilities, Mike Mood.
Hello.
Hello. And I don't believe we have any staff in the Zoom chat and on Zoom, so we're good to go. So with quorum of council in attendance, I will call the meeting to order, and I'll begin with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that we are on the treaty and traditional territory of the Michi, Sagig, and Ishebeg. We offer our gratitude to the First Peoples for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. May we honor those teachings. And I just ask that we hold for a moment of silence, please. Okay. Moving on, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Hearing nothing, could I please get an adoption of the agenda for today's meeting? Councillor Revort, Deputy Mayor Nelson, all in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. On to item 6, adoption of minutes and business arising from the minutes. And we just have before us the regular council meeting minutes for October 17th. Can I get a motion to approve those? Deputy Mayor Nelson, Councillor Revort, all in favor, and that carries. We have 3 items on our consent agenda. Are there any items that members would like to hold for discussion? I don't see any hands up. So with that, could I get a motion to receive and approve those consent items? Councillor Watt, Councillor Johnston, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. We have no delegations of petitions or presentations or public meetings. And I believe we don't have any public comment period folks registered, Madam Clerk, is that correct?
That is correct, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. So on to section 10 of the agenda, other business and staff reports. We have a report and capital but project status. Does council have any questions or items to discuss on that report? No, nothing at all. Then just a motion to receive that, please. Councillor Watt, Deputy Mayor Nelson, all in favor? And that motion carries. On to item 10.2, water bottle filling stations from our recreation facilities, or on our recreation facilities. Over to you, Mr. Mood.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor Watson. I'm going to start with the recommendation that's at hand, and it's that the recreation facilities 2023-09 report dated November 7th, 2023 regarding the water bottle filling stations be received, and that the $9,655.34 plus taxes be allocated from the $17,641.98 be carried over into the 2023, that was carried over in the 2023 budget for the purchase and installation of one water bottle filling station to be installed at the Douro Community Center and the Warsaw Community Center. So we had minor hockey put in a request to equip our facilities with these water bottle filling stations. A number of the other municipalities and arenas have these exact units that we're looking at. So it is our recommendation that we use some of the craft hockey bill money that was allocated to us for such upgrades to install these in both of our facilities. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you for that. Are there any questions from council?
Well, I just got one comment to make.
Certainly, go ahead, Councillor Johnston.
To the chair. I basically in favor of it by all means. The only downside I can see is it's going to take away anything from the canteen. That's the only thing I, have any concern about. I know that the canteens not open a lot of times that the hockey's on or practices or whatever, so I mean that's great. But I'm just thinking of when it is open, I'm just wondering how much that's going to.
Through Mayor Watson to Councillor Johnson, I don't suggest it will take a whole lot away from the concessions. Typically, this is going to be used for all the players and teams coming in, and now they currently just use the taps to fill their water bottles and take them out to the benches. So this will alleviate them from using our taps. This will also provide an added filter system with the cooling capabilities. It's hard to say if it would take anything away, but most of the sales through the concessions would be the Gatorades and pops and energy drinks as well. So
I make a motion to go along with the request to install these.
To follow the recommendation. Thank you, Councillor Johnston. Will someone second that motion? Deputy Mayor Nelson, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Councillor Watt?
That's for you, Madam Mayor. No, that was going to be my question until I double read it there, but the filtration stuff like that, because I know we already have to have our facilities and buildings and stuff tested on a regular basis anyway, but this is just an added layer of protection that's going to help us in the long run. And yeah, you go to most arenas now, you see the water fill stations and the kids using the fill bottle before they go to practice or the game. So, or trainers are doing it, whatever. But yeah, they are definitely a good value for the money. So I'm totally in favor of it.
Great. Any other discussion to the motion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to item 10.3, the financial summary of the South Park redevelopment project, and that goes over to Mr. Craner.
Thank you, and through Madam Mayor. Council requested a summary on the ultimate the cost of the project at South Park, which we are holding kind of an unveiling and grand opening ceremony coming up. And so if there's any questions on the information in front of you, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Any questions from council on the report? Nothing at all. Everybody's pretty quiet. Okay. Is there, there's no action in that recommendation, I believe. There's it's a motion to receive, I believe we're looking for. Councillor Watt, sorry.
Yes, I'll make that motion with thanks.
Great, thank you very much. And Councillor Johnston, any discussion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. On to 10.4, the amendment to the 2024 council meeting schedule. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a report requesting that the council meeting that was to be held on February 6th, 2024 be canceled. We have heard from 2 members of council that they are unable to attend that meeting. And when we had presented the 2024 schedule a little while ago, it had been suggested that we may want to only have 1 meeting in February, just for winter holidays and things like that. So I am bringing this request before council for council decision.
Great, thank you for that. And I'll just mention there's still a committee of the whole meeting in February that's taking place that your report mentions as well. Great, thank you. Any questions of staff on that? Then I think we simply just need a motion to approve the recommendation. Deputy Mayor Nelson, seconded by Councillor Johnston. All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. On to our strategic plan update, item 10.5, and that goes over to Ms. Arthurs.
Thank you, through you, Mayor Watson. This is just an update report to let council know where we're at. We did have the RFP that was issued and awarded to Corey Consulting. They did come to council to provide an overview of the project. Since then, they met with myself and our clerk just to get an idea of timing. We then had a further meeting with, I would call the core group. I know sometimes they reference it as the management group, which might be confusing. So I'll say the core group, which was myself, Mayor Watson, our clerk, as well as our fire chief. And we really went through some of the data that we had gathered through the SWOT analysis, talking about our mission and our vision and some of the ideas that had come out of council at that time. So it gave them a good basis on some of the ideas moving forward. They ran us through a couple of different exercises, which were quite interesting, and council will have an opportunity to do that as well. So they have scheduled some consultations, so some public consultations. So there will be a virtual session on November the 27th, and then 2 in-person sessions, which will occur on November the 28th. Invitations are going out to members of the public, as well as some of our user groups, some businesses. There's a variety of people that will be invited to these specific sessions. And then they will come to council and do a full afternoon session after they gather that information and come back to council and provide you with an update on the information that was obtained and run you through some of those same exercises, which I think, I mean, it's quite effective. I would say they're doing a great job. I think things are moving along as we anticipated. And following that session on November the 28th, they will come back with a draft plan. We will have a public meeting so that if there is further comments from the general public, they will have an opportunity, and then council will have a decision to make on moving forward with that draft plan or making any amendments so that we can finalize it in early 2024. So I just want council to be aware of where we're at, let you know that there will be some specific consultation directed to council, and you'll have an opportunity to run through some of these exercises with Corey, but also have an opportunity to guide the strategic plan.
Great, thank you for that. Councillor Johnston.
I'll make a motion to follow the recommendation.
Thank you. Will someone second that motion? Deputy Mayor Nelson, any discussion on the motion? All in
To
favor?
the chair,
Oh,
to the
yep.
chair. You'll give us more of a detailed time right now. We just got the dates right now.
Through you, Mayor Watson, to Councillor Johnston. The council session will be in the afternoon on November the 28th. The specific consultation is going out currently now as an invitation, and they will have a selection to any one of those sessions. We are limited to the numbers in those sessions. So once we start to get feedback from those individuals who are invited, those timelines, I don't know if the daytime session's been scheduled as far as specific timelines.
We never said it particular time.
They have. The invitations have started going out, and I don't remember the times off the top of my head, but there's early morning and a mid-morning session through you, Madam Mayor, and then the afternoon session.
So
And there's
afternoon,
also-
1 or 2 o'clock or something?
Yes, it's after lunch. So I can send you those exact times later today or tomorrow.
Okay, that's all.
Great, thank you very much. So we do have a motion on the floor. So I'll call for the vote. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. On to item 11. We are into committee committee minutes and other reports. We have a whole batch of items. 11.4, I don't know if it was still on the copy of the agenda. That's just a duplicate item. So we're just looking at 11, 1, 2, and 3. Just one motion to approve all of those, unless anybody wants to discuss any one of those items. Councillor Watt.
Motion to do the 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you. Is somebody going to second that?
Second.
Counselor Johnston, thank you very much. All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. Sorry, did somebody else say that they had a question? No.
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. On to section 12 with our correspondence. We have a number of items for action, including starting with 12.1, the 2024 Rural Ontario Municipal Association, or ROMA conference request for delegation with ministries. I'm not sure where we're going with this, Councillor. Any questions, comments, discussion?
Move and support.
Move and support is, yeah.
Anyone?
I don't think this is a support. It's whether or not we want to make any specific delegations at Roma. So I think first we need to know whether or not members of council are attending Roma. Specifically, I'm not sure. I know myself personally, I'll be there. Are there any other members who are attending Roma? Councillor Revort, you're going to Roma?
I would definitely like to attend, yes.
Okay, great. So I would suggest, in terms of your attendance, if you haven't, just to confirm that with staff so that they can make the necessary registration arrangements for you. With respect to delegations, I know that there have been conversations as it relates to doctor recruitment and making a delegation to one or two ministers. I don't know which ministry we had identified. Elena, are you aware where we had talked that through?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I believe it was the Ministry of Health that we were looking at specifically. I'm not sure. I know we talked about jointly doing that with another municipality, but I don't know if that's on us or if that's something that we're going to move forward with. I know the county also could have a part in this.
Right. I have spoke with the mayor of the other municipality, but I don't know if they've approached their council about that or what their path forward is on that, because that was just something that evolved just last week, I believe. So at this point in time, should we choose to make a delegation on that matter, we need council to approve that delegation to be done.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I think if council makes a motion in support of providing or requesting, I would say, a delegation to the Ministry of Health with regards to physician recruitment, and then we can have a discussion to see whether or not we're going to bring in another municipality. At least if we have the motion that they're supportive, I think that would set us up to be able to move forward if that's the path we go. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Nelson?
Yeah, that's not what I said. To the chair, that's Tom's motion.
All right, so if that's Councillor Watt's motion, Deputy Mayor Nelson, your hand's up. What's up?
I will definitely second that motion.
Okay, perfect. Any discussion on the motion? Then all in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to 12.2, Float Homes Not Vessels Coalition, requests for changes to provincial and federal regulations regarding vessels. I know I've received a lot of correspondence from this through other municipalities. What would council like to do with this? Councillor Vervoort?
Through you, Mayor Watson, I would like to receive and support this correspondence. I think it ties into some of the discussions that we've had around short-term rentals as well, and kind of some of the disruptions that float homes may have on the community as well, and just in terms of jurisdiction and noise complaints, etc. They're in the municipality, even though they're on the water, they should live by the rules of our community.
Okay, so we have a motion to receive and support this. Is there anyone who will second that? And I apologize, I can't see the screen the way that Zoom has left it.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. I appreciate that. Any discussion on the motion at all? And again, I can't see, but I'm not hearing anyone shout out, so I will assume not. And call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. On to 12.3, the Town of Perry Sound requests to change the Highway Traffic Act to allow automated speed enforcement systems in a variety of locations. What would council like to do with this? Councillor Vervoort.
Through Mayor Watson, I would like to receive and support.
Okay. And will someone second that? I don't see anyone seconding that. Okay. And therefore the motion falls. Does anyone want to try another motion on this one?
We'll just make a motion to receive it.
All right. And will someone second that? Deputy Mayor Nelson, all in favor? And that motion carries. On to 12.4, the Township of McKellar call for an amendment to the Legislation Act 2006. What would you guys like to do? Councillor Vervoort?
I would like to receive and support this this correspondence. The print media that they refer to in this correspondence is definitely a changing environment. The world is a different place from what it was when this legislation was passed, and it's likely time for an update. I can see this impacting not only that municipality, but others throughout the province as we go forward.
All right, thank you very much. Will someone second that motion? Councillor Watt, any discussion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. On to 12.5, Fire Underwriters Survey Petition in support of volunteer firefighters and search and rescue personnel, Bill C-310. What would you like to do, folks?
I'll make a motion to the chair. I'll make a motion to receive that.
A motion to receive?
Yes,
And
receive, yeah.
thank you. And is someone seconding that? Councillor Vervoort?
Yes.
Second? Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you. 12.6, Municipality of North Perth letters requesting support for various issues. And we have two bulleted out here. The request for social and economic prosperity review and the support for Bill 21 Fixing Long-Term Care Amendment Act 2022. What would you like to do, Council? Deputy Mayor Nelson.
I'll make a motion to receive.
And anyone want to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Councillor Johnston, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? And that too carries. On to 12.7, Circular Materials Letter Regarding Agreement for Depot Operations. And there is potentially a recommendation here. Ms. Arthurs, do you want to speak to it briefly before we have discussion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
This was placed on the agenda. We've been working with Circular Materials to deal with the collection of our recycling. There has been a lot of back and forth with the contract. They've been tasked to do this across the province, and our municipality looks different than some of the larger municipalities. So we did have some questions along with our neighbors in Peterborough County. We have gone back and forth to try to make some changes. There was still some outstanding question with regards to insurance, so we were holding off. Most municipalities were waiting until the second meeting in November. They're very anxious though to get this through, as their timelines are getting very, very tight. So we had been provided with this letter. I suggested we put the letter on the agenda to allow the continued operation until we finalize the agreement. We have since heard from the insurance company since the posting, so we will bring that agreement back on November the 21st. For their comfort level, they are asking that we have a resolution, which our clerk has prepared, and I'm happy to read. And then I think if council is in agreement, we can move forward. So if you want me to go ahead and read that, I can.
Please do. Yes, thank you.
The letter from Circular Materials Ontario dated October 27th, 2023 regarding the depot operations agreement be received, and that staff be directed to provide consent to CMO to provide a seamless transition for the pickup of blue box material, and further that a depot operations agreement be brought forward at the next council meeting on November the 21st.
Great, thank you very much. Council, what would you like to do? Deputy Mayor Nelson?
I'll move to, or like to make a motion to receive that recommendation.
Okay. So the motion is basically what Alana read. You're moving that motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Johnston?
I'll second that. Maybe I need to read that. I'll go with the.
She would read it.
No, that's good.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing nothing, all in favor? And that motion carries. Thank you very much. On to section 13 bylaws. There are none. Reports derived from motions, none. Any notices of motion? Nothing. Any announcements? Any announcements?
Just one.
Councillor Johnston,
to the chair.
yes.
Just want to remember everybody about Remembrance Day, only a few days away, it's on Friday. And if you can attend, we'd like you to attend, some of you are working, and that's great. But other than that, we'll just make sure everybody attends.
And Santa Claus parade.
We're going on Santa Claus parade coming up. Again, with that, we wanted to ask everybody that could put a float in, we'd like them to do that. And anybody would like to participate and help them in the staff in here for the refreshments for the kids, looking for help. If you'd like anybody that knows anybody like to help, and the staff would like them to put the name forward.
Okay.
Build and donate a gingerbread house.
Ooh,
Build and donate the gingerbread house.
we've got one gingerbread house now, and then we're looking at a couple more people might be coming forward with.
If anybody wants to.
Or if anybody else wants to donate gingerbread house, we'd be glad for them to later.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you for that. Any other
Anything else,
announcements?
Ricky?
That's the last Saturday in November at 5. Still 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Last Saturday, November.
Just a question, Madam Mayor, if I might, is, do we have to does the floats have to be registered? I've had that question.
Have to be registered?
Yeah, do we have to call in? Do people have to
Yeah,
call
we
in?
would like the staff would like to know that, yes.
So that's coming into.
As far as insurance or anything, that's a different story. The township one's insured, but everybody's on their own.
Sheila called me, they asked me.
No, but so that's coming into Martina, to,
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor, if anyone would like to register a float, we would like to know that in advance for traffic control. We need to know how many floats we have on the route. And if they could please call me at the township office or Patty, that would be wonderful.
Great. Thank you for that. Any other announcements? Hearing nothing, we moving on then to closed session. We have none. We just need a motion for our confirming bylaw. Councillor Watt, Councillor Vervoort, all in favor? That carries. And lastly, we have our next meeting. We have a budget working session with council on November 14th. So it's a week today. And then on November 21st is our next regular council meeting. So simply, I just need a motion to adjourn, please. Deputy Mayor Nelson, seconded by Councillor Johnston, all in favor. And that motion carries. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.